Okay, everybody. Well, welcome to the Great Discovery. Tim Taylor here, co-CEO, and tonight is training night. We do this every Wednesday, and the topics are all across the board. We go from everything from what you need as a creator to create stellar content, whether it's improving your presentation skills, your organization optimization skills, strategy, and getting everything on and so forth. We also get into training sometimes on affiliate and marketing tactics, how to communicate better and close more sales, and whatever your project is, not just great discovery. Other times it's transformation courses and content, specialty topics, a variety of different things. So it's kind of like you get a smorgasbord here on Wednesday night training, and each week it's a little bit different. And tonight we're going to go into something that is life-changing. If you want to build the life that you love, this is what you're in the right place. One of our cornerstone courses with the Great Discovery is the Great Discovery. It's the fourth generation of Six Sigma, recognized by MIT as one of the top 10 business innovations of the last 150 years. And so the fourth generation of that, instead of being for big organizations, is for you. It's for me. It's for kids. You look at the kids' books behind us, it's for teens. And it's quite simply, I believe, is the most transformative, fulfilling, high performance course that any person can take. It's essential. And we built this entire company on that foundation. And so we've gone on from there to add on the e-learning platform. A lot of it was, as part of it, is to help people accomplish their purpose and learn the specific skills that they need to accomplish those purposes. And, you know, as we're going into phase 3, it's starting to reach out to more learners. So as we're going into phase 3, wanting to come full circle into the Great Discovery course and a little bit more about how it works. So I'm going to sit back and shut up and take some notes and introduce you to Dr. Cathy Lawson, our Chief Knowledge Officer. In the world of Six Sigma, she is one of the top 26 in the world, as is Sandra. They're both executive master black belts in that curriculum. And she's also one of the co-creators of the actual Six Sigma Great Discovery course, working on also the Bentley series of books, our Chief Knowledge Officer, and an all-around cool person. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Cathy. It's all yours.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Hey, you know what, everybody? Welcome tonight. And you know what? It is a great day when we get to teach the Great Discovery. So I am so glad you're all here. Get out a pen and paper or whatever it is you want to take some notes on, because you're going to be taking notes as we go. Sandra and I are delighted to share with you at least the opening of the Great Discovery course. And I hope you're going to be as excited about it as we are. So let me share my screen. We'll get started here. Here we go. So you know what? I mean, the Great Discovery course is all about a world of possibilities. There's almost nothing you can't accomplish if you just know how to do it. So that's really what this is all about. So we're going to talk about what those possibilities are. We're going to pose some questions, some scenarios here, and a lot of imagination. So here we go. So let's start out by imagining. Suppose Willy Wonka showed up at your doorstep with a golden ticket, okay? And not to his very famous chocolate factory, although that's a wonderful thing, but instead to a portal that will lead you to your life dream. So my question to you is, will you accept that ticket? So maybe in chat, put yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Tell me more. Let's see where you're at. There's a bunch of yeses. Okay, so you like the golden ticket? Heck yes. All right, cool. So how about the genie from Aladdin? And the genie from Aladdin shows up and says, I will grant you 3 wishes. The first wish is going to be about the work that you do in this world. The first wish is going to be about the vocation that you have, the services that you provide to better humanity. What would that be? The second wish is about your relationships, the people that you love, the people that you want to love, the people that you want to include in your community. What would that be? And the third wish is about something really near and dear to your heart. What would that be? So again, in chat, would you accept the genie's 3 wishes? Yes, no, maybe? I don't know. Tell me more. I love it. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So here we go, folks. Hold on to your seats. Welcome to the Great Discovery. And at the Great Discovery, realizing life dreams is our business. This is what we do. Sandra and I have been doing this for 15 years, helping people realize their life dream. It's an amazing thing. And as Tim said, built on the foundation of Six Sigma. So Six Sigma has 40 years of success, stories that we can tell you ad nauseum about how it's worked. And how many times people said to me personally, because I was involved since the beginning, you know, I'm just not sure that's going to work. We've been trying to do this for years and we haven't made any breakthrough. And then afterwards they went, wow, look what we achieved. And that is what Six Sigma was, and that's what the Great Discovery is built on. Realizing life dreams. Michael Harry designed the Great Discovery to be available to anyone that was willing to invest their heart, soul, and their time in realizing their life dreams. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So here we go. So let's talk about some examples of life dreams. So creating a profitable business. Many of you are here on the platform because this is exactly what you want to do. You want to take the business that maybe you have and grow it some more. Maybe you want to transition from your day job into something more that's a business that you offer some services that you really care about. So that's one example of a life dream. Let's look at a few others. How about this? Doing something that you love. You know, I worked with a lot of engineers over the years because I'm an engineer by training and I worked in technology companies. I met, there was this one engineer I worked with, and he and his wife both worked at Motorola. And one day he and I were talking and he goes, you know what? In 6 months, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to become a massage therapist. It's like, what? Totally, something totally different than, you know, what you would expect. But that's what he loved. And he did it, and it just was a fantastic transition. So have you thought about doing something that you really love? How about this? Making a difference, right? There's so many, there's so many vocations where you get to make a difference in your corner of the world, however big or small that is, where you get to make a difference. What does that look like? And really, what are we talking about here? What are these life dreams all about? They're about leaving a legacy. You know, all of us share the commonality of humanity, but each of us has our own special gifts and talents and strengths. And as Sandra is going to do it a little bit later, show us our core values. And all of those come together to allow each of us to make a contribution in this world. That's our legacy. So think about your life dream in this area. What does it look like? Go ahead and write it down for yourself if you are taking some notes. And if you feel like you'd like to, put it in chat. What's your life dream around the service, the vocation that you bring to the world? Remember, that's the first wish that the genie wants to grant you. Let's see what we got here in chat. All right. Moving on, some more life dreams. How about your family? You know, families come in a lot of different shapes and sizes these days, and they all look different, but they're all special to us, whatever family we're in. So how about enjoying more family time, whatever that looks like for you? How about your community, whatever that looks like also? It could be your neighborhood. It could be an organization that you care deeply about. It could be a global community. It could be an online community. What does that look like? And how do you contribute to that community? And what's your dream? And finally, what's your, what do you do to cherish that one special person in your life? So these are some examples of life dreams about love, right? The love that we share with the people that surround us. So what's your life dream? Write that down in this area. Remember, this is the genie's second wish for you. What does that look like? Okay. And one more. These are the dreams that are personal to each of us. So maybe one of those dreams is about realizing abundant health. You know, there's so many things out there today that people have, so many conditions and all that. And if we could just be a little healthier, our life would have more quality and, you know, more robustness. So maybe we have a life dream about realizing that abundant health, whatever it is that might be eluding us right now. Maybe it's about creating a masterpiece. You know, maybe you have a beautiful work of art inside of you, whether that's a painting or a sculpture or a piece of music or a novel. What does that look like? Or maybe it's just a new idea that the world hasn't seen yet, that only you can bring to the world because you have uniqueness. What does that look like? Here's another one: travel the world, right? See new cultures, learn new things, eat different food. I know I am a foodie, so I get excited when I get to eat different kinds of food. All right, what is this about? This is about living fully, living extraordinarily. Okay, so this was the third wish that the genie granted, something really personal to you that you want to realize before the end of your days. What does that look like for you? Jot that down. And if you are someone who's ever wondered what your purpose is, well, I'm here to tell you, my friends, that there are three things that make up your purpose. Here it is. One, leave a legacy. So whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you have to offer, leave a legacy, again, in your corner of the world, however big or small that is. Something that is unique to you, your gifts, your talents, your strengths. Leave that for others. Show others what you have to offer. Two, love deeply, right? Who are the people you cherish? The people who show up on your pathway, love them deeply. Some of them are harder to love than others, but they all teach us a lesson, right? And it's a good thing because it allows us to grow. And three, live fully, right? Follow that path wherever it takes you. Sometimes we don't know where it's going, and we go on faith and we hope that it's going to take us to an amazing place. But this is what our purpose is. It's to bring our gifts to the world, to love the people around us, and to live each day fully. There's a quote that I absolutely love, and it says, "May you live every day of your life." I wish that for all of you, because you know what? It's so sad when I see people just existing, right? We need to live. We have so much to give and so much to receive. So, hey, this is it. This is your purpose. And each of these has life dreams associated with it. So, here's the thing with the golden ticket and the genie. We cannot actually make this happen for you. But if you are willing to go the distance, you can make it happen with our help. So my question to you is, would you be willing to invest 2 to 3 hours a week for the next, I don't know, 10 to 12 weeks in order to realize a life dream? Put that in chat. Tell me who's willing to do this. Because if you're willing to do this, this is what living your purpose is all about. Let's see. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. Great. Great. Because this is what it takes. So when you go through the Great Discovery course, it is exactly this. It's about 2 to 3 hours a week. Sandra and I have recorded some videos for you. We've got some exercises for you. And in addition to the course itself, you can get help from some amazing coaches. We have really some extraordinary people who have walked the Great Discovery path and have put it to work in their own life, and they're willing to share their experiences and their expertise to help you do the same. Including, I know she's on tonight, our own Christine Quinn, and so many others that are there. So they're amazing people and willing to help you with that. This is your golden ticket and the wishes that the genie wants to give you. And it's all wrapped up in the Great Discovery International course. So, so many of you are course creators and affiliates who bought a package that has the Great Discovery International course as part of it. So I'm challenging you 2 to 3 hours per week for the next 10 to 12 weeks. Where does that put us? That puts us about the first week in May. Can you imagine realizing one of the life dreams that you wrote down? Hopefully tonight, being manifested by the first week of May. Can be done. You just got to invest some time and effort. And if you're willing to do that, like I said, we can't do it for you, but we will walk every step of the way with you and help you achieve it as best we can. All right, so congratulations. If you wrote something down, you've actually completed the first step of the Great Discovery. And Sandra is going to take you through the second step. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
Well, hello, everybody. And Cathy, thank you so much for that. You guys, it truly is amazing. It is an amazing process to go through, and I can't speak enough about it. When my late husband, Dr. Michael Harry, who was the co-creator of Six Sigma, started showing me the Great Discovery when he was working on it, and I learned it on the backs of napkins and in airplanes and bars and restaurants and all over in the office, and I fell in love with it. And what was amazing is the first pilot class that he did, he invited Cathy. I did not know her, and we were sat at the same table, and we became best friends. We became sisters from that moment on. And it wasn't because of the Great Discovery, but it was. But we both fell in love with the Great Discovery, and we both looked at each other and said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my career. And that's why we're doing this, because it was so powerful and it had such an impact on our lives. My life changed, and it has never been the same. I've never looked back. So Cathy got you guys thinking about your dream. So what's the next step? What are we going to do now if you want to make that dream come alive? You've identified that life mission or your dream, right? So now I'm going to take you through what's the first step we're going to go through to actually start to achieve that, okay? And the first one is my favorite, okay? And it's called core values. Now, what are core values? Okay. What I want to show first before we dive in is I want to show the proven path. Cathy mentioned this a couple times when she was talking. She talked about mission or dream, which is this big zero right here. We start on the Great Discovery from this side, and then we plan backwards. Okay, we get back to where our starting point is. Okay, so it's reverse planning is what it really is. So we put out that mission. So what's the next thing we want to do? We want to make sure that that mission is in alignment with our intrinsic core values. What is an intrinsic core value? You're asking yourself, well, a value is a value something, the value of my house, the value of my car. No, an intrinsic core value is something that is of worth, utility, or importance to you. To you. And when we can connect, when I go back here, we can connect that life dream, this mission, with your values and enable you to be able to live out your intrinsic core values on a daily basis. Guys, your life changes. It's no longer a struggle to get up in the morning to go to work. Things work in your life. When you do have a problem or an issue or something to work through, guess what? You naturally will use this process. I don't even have to sit down and say, okay, what's this step? What's this step anymore? I naturally use this process in everything I do. It's called a second order change. It's like your cell phone. Could you give up your cell phone? No, you can't give up your cell phone, can you? You could, but it would be very, very difficult. But there's a thing in the back of your brain called the reticular activating system. And when you activate that system, then it helps you engage and you just start naturally doing that. So the second order change is brought about by the reticular activating system. Sorry about that. So anyway, the goal is let's map your values now to that mission. Because what if your values aren't related to that mission? It probably won't be very fun to live out that mission. It's probably going to be a mismatch, okay? So let me give you an example. We have a lot of kids. Parents bring up their kids. How many do we know that their dad says, I'm a lawyer and my son's going to be a lawyer? And the son doesn't want to be a lawyer. He doesn't really know it, but he's never really been asked what he wants to do. He becomes a lawyer, and guess what? He's unhappy. He doesn't like his work. He doesn't like getting up to go to work, and he lives in misery. How many people do you know like that are in jobs that they don't like and they hate? It's because their core values aren't in alignment with that mission. That's what is wrong. So if we can get those in alignment, guess what? Life is so much better. You're happy in the morning when you wake up. You want to go to work. In fact, I'm in such alignment with my core values and my work. I have a hard time going to bed at night. I'm asked him, right? I have a hard time shutting down because I love it so much. So I said, a value is something of worth, utility, or importance to us. So how do we identify our values? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a couple tips, and then we are actually going to go through the core values, the intrinsic core values exercise tonight. Okay. So it'll be fun. We actually get to roll up our sleeves. We're going to do some work, but some things to think about. What do you spend your money on? What do you take pictures on? What do you spend your time doing? Okay. Think about those three things and you will start to see, and your intrinsic core values will come out. Okay. Now, your intrinsic core values you are born with. We are all born with them. We all have them. God gives them to us. They develop by the time we're about 8 years old. Okay. Now, can they change? Absolutely, but they're not going to change every other month. Okay. They are intrinsic. We're born with them. Okay. Life events, major life events, my values shifted a little bit when Michael passed. Okay. That was a major life event for me. And I had to sit back and kind of analyze and rethink my core values. And I did. And they shifted a little bit, not a lot, but they did. So let's dig in. You guys want to do the core values exercise? You guys ready? Put in chat. Yes or no? Does everybody want to work tonight? I do. I'm going to facilitate. All right. So what I have up on the screen, and I'm going to put in chat right now, the core values exercise. And guys, this is the exercise that we do in the Great Discovery. So if you have the Great Discovery in your account because you bought one of the packages, guess what? You're going to be able to do the core values exercise right now. Cathy just led you through how you can identify what that dream is. What's that life dream? What's that mission? Okay. Now we're going to get you to set your core values. And then in the core values exercise, guess what? As we get down to the end, you're going to start tying those to your mission. Okay. And then you're going to see where they connect and where they don't connect. Now, do all of them have to connect to the mission? You typically end up with 4 or 5 intrinsic core values. No, they don't, but at least one of them should. Okay. Or you're probably needing to rethink it. So read the screen here, guys. So basically, you're going to look through a list of words. I'll put them up in a minute, but I just put the exercise in the chat. You can download it and do it on the screen. You can just write down when I put the words up here in a second, however you want to do it. So what you can do is you're going to go through and you're going to circle all the words that mean something to you, right? That you feel about. Remember, this is a feeling exercise. It's not a thinking exercise. You're not going to sit there and debate with yourself about, am I going to circle a word? It's what you feel when you read that word. What does it make you feel? If it makes you feel great, circle it. If it doesn't, move on. Don't circle it. Then you're going to keep cutting the list of words down in half, in half, in half, until you get about 10. Then you're going to put the ones on top, the 5 on top, that are the most impactful to you, and the other ones will naturally go to the bottom. Those top 4 to 5 will be your intrinsic core values, okay? So now, what you're going to do after you do that is you're going to define what those mean to you, but we can do that later. This is the list of words. You guys have it in chat. So I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes, and I'm going to let you guys start working through it, okay? And I'll try and not talk too much so you can concentrate on the words, but it's hard, okay? When I did this exercise the first time, I never had done anything like this before. I'd been through all the personality testing and all of that, and it had a huge impact on me. It really made me sit back and realize that the dreams I had weren't really my dreams. They were the dreams that I had maybe out of expectation, or that I read or I thought was really cool. I wanted to be a CFO or the CEO of a big corporation, right? Fortune 50 or 100. And I did. I became a CFO of a very large corporation. And you know what I realized? I wasn't happy. I did not like to get up to go to work in the morning. I did not like my job. It was irritating to me. And when I did this exercise some years later, I found out why, because it just did not align with my core values. Okay. It just did not. Okay. How's everybody doing? Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know you guys working through it, making progress. I know some of you out there have already done this exercise. If you have any help or a comment or suggestions that might help people, put them in chat. Okay. And I know James Moneypenny says working on it. And Mike Hayes, a big red heart. That's exactly right. All right. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes and we'll let you work through it. Okay. Let's see. It's 8:29. Let's give about 3 more minutes, 3 more minutes. And you guys can do this later too. You don't have to finish the whole thing right now. So don't feel pressured like you have to get this done right now. Okay. You can download the exercise in the chat and do it later at your pleasure, quiet place. Somewhere where somebody's not talking like I am, maybe. I see Cathy laughing.
I'm laughing because one of the best ways to do this is to put on some music that you really groove to, whatever that is, and sit back and do it. So, I mean, if you want to do it later, absolutely. But
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh,
yes,
Renee.
think about
Great.
what really matters. And it is what you feel, because sometimes you're gonna circle a word and you go, wait a minute, that's not me. But if you feel it, it's probably true.
Yeah. Renee put in the chat, guys, this is a really good point. She said, be honest with yourself and think about what really matters the most. And it's to you. This is about you. We don't think about ourselves a lot these days. We're always trying to help other people and do other things for other people. This exercise is about you. Okay. So you get to be about you for a little bit while you're working on this. Okay. So try not to say, oh, well, would that, should I consider this person or that person and how that might affect them? No, it's about you. It's your intrinsic core values. Okay, so Mike, I meditate on it in the alpha state to forward all issues to heaven, faith. Oh, that's great. Forward all issues to heaven. That's great, Mike. I love that. That is awesome. All right, we'll go about 1 more minute.
So I'm guessing, Mike, somewhere in the column that has all the spiritual stuff, you've got a core value.
I would bet so.
I would bet that.
And I have my core values. Cathy has hers. We also have TGD's core values, but I'm not going to say them out loud until we get a little further down the road. I don't want to taint anybody's exercise. So, all right, needs a little bit more time. How's everybody doing? Still working? He must be working hard. Nobody's put anything in chat. All right, so it's about
there's lots of words though, but yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, it's really good. And that's what I said. You don't have to do it all right now.
I was gonna say it's an exercise that really takes about an hour to do. Yeah.
It does take time. So okay.
Oh, I love that, Nick. You don't get caught in what values you're expected to have. That's exactly true. Please don't put down a should. I should have this. It's not a should exercise.
No, it's right now, and it's all about you, what you are and what you feel. That's exactly right. Okay. So
I love yours, Bree. That's awesome. I love glow. I heard glow one time from a junior high student who picked glow when we were doing this for kids. And I was like, who's the first person I've ever seen that said glow? And he was so awesome. And I'm so glad you have that too.
Amazing.
I think you do glow.
Yes, she does glow, I have to say. All right, so let's move on. It's 8:33, and I do want to open it up for questions here. We always have such great questions and conversation at the end of the calls. We love that part. So part 2 is now you're going to take that list of your words, 4 to 6. There's typically about 4 or 5. Some people have 6. And you're going to list them on a table. And we have a table for you. It's in the next slide. I'll show it to you. But for each of the words, actually, let's go ahead and just pull that up. Each of the words, you're going to list it. And where does this intrinsic value currently show up in your mission pursuits? So the mission, the life dream that you said you wanted to do, where does it show up there? Does it show up there at all? For each of your core values, intrinsic core values that you just came up with, you're going to say, how does that relate? Okay. How does it show up there? And then you're also going to say, where is this intrinsic value missing in your mission pursuit. Okay. So this is where you're going to start to connect those values with your mission. And what did I talk about at the beginning? If none of your values, if they're all missing in your mission pursuit, we might want to rethink that dream or that mission, right? Because it may not be something that your core values are in alignment with. Remember at the beginning when I brought up the proven path, we said we're working on the front side of it, and Cathy talked about the mission and the dream, and then the values went out from there. That means that you are living those core values every day. Not every other day, not once a month. You're living them every day in the pursuit of that dream or mission. And that, guys, is when life becomes absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. And I'll give you another thing that happened to me when I started going through my core values. And it's the truth. I mean, it's not something I'm embarrassed about. It's something that was the truth. I had a hard time in relationships. I did. And it was something that was difficult in my life. And I figured out why through my core values. And when I adjusted through my core values, what was really important to me, I naturally started to bring people that were similar and that I could live my core values out into my life. And so it made a big change. And I will just say, I mean, I have a great relationship today. It's amazing. And a lot of it is based because I understand my intrinsic core values now. And I help my husband, and you guys know it's Tim, live out his core values every day, which makes me so happy. And then he helps me live out my core values. So when you're in a relationship and you can understand the other person's core values now, that relationship just goes on steroids. And if you can help each other achieve those, live those core values out every day, guys, it is amazing. I can't even tell you. It's like that. It's like the genie giving you the dream on love, right? That's exactly what it is. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, we've got a lot of cool stuff in the chat. But first, I want to talk about TGD's core values. And you guys will understand these very well when I read them off. It is adventure, empower, connect, awaken, and inspire. My core values are adventure, that one's similar, balance, bring joy, grace, and mastery. So it kind of gives you a little insight as to who I am. Cathy, do you want to share yours?
Sure, mine are freedom and discover, empower, awaken. I also have awaken and manifest.
Nice. All right, well, that is the end of the exercise, guys. Please go download it from the chat. Have some fun with this. Go through it. Take it seriously, though. It's not just this is extremely powerful. And if you are going to go through the great discovery, this must be done. Okay. The proven path and setting that life dream and that mission is not going to mean anything if you don't understand your intrinsic core values and they aren't tied together and engaging those core values to live the pursuit of that dream or mission. All right, I am going to hand it over to Mr. Tim Taylor for a second, all right, and then we will open up for questions. I want to read the chat too. I'm excited to do that. So let me stop my share here for a second. Mr. Taylor, you want to come on up?
I sure do. Well, that was really excellent, ladies. That was just fabulous. I appreciate it. And I want to remind everybody that's out here, if you're on this call, pretty good chance you're already enrolled with a Great Discovery. If you started with a Creator Pro Pack or an Affiliate Success Pack, the two best ways really to get going, guess what? You have the Great Discovery course. I want a show of hands and just be honest. You know, one of my core values is truth. It is how many of you have really taken an energy, a step, and opened up that course and gotten started? Put a 1 in there if you actually have. Okay. And how many of you have actually taken a look at that and thought about it and saw it and we're going to get to it, but never really quite got there? Put a 2 in the chat. Okay. And the third, if number 3, if you're just not aware that you even had it, and now you know, and you're going to go take a look at it, put a 3 in the chat. So let's see what we got out there. We've got a few people out there with ones. Good, good. Not a lot of people with twos. There's a two. There's James. There you go. I appreciate that, James. And anybody else that didn't know that you have that course that's in there? Well, we've been actually, as we're coming into phase 3 of the Great Discovery, some of the things that we're looking to do is really start moving more towards the learner side. We've been talking about this a lot of how we've been focusing on reaching out essentially to creators but now as we're beginning to move, you're starting to see a lot of action, a lot of things that are about outreach and reaching people as learners and also as affiliates. And so one of the best courses, that the reason that we put this course in the Creator Pack and the Affiliate Success Pack is very simply this. It's about success. It's about accomplishment. It's about achievement, attainment, performance, completion, finishing the work that you started. It's about overcoming. It's about magnificence. It's about living the gifts that God gave you and putting them into work, into practice. Mm-hmm. Some people talk about, and I was in church in ministry for a while, and we had a different type of a minister. We worked a lot with recovering people, and a lot of people that they said they didn't get involved with church because they didn't like organized religion. And the real answer was, do you like disorganized religion? What do you really want? And because without organization, organizing your thoughts, it's very difficult to get things done. And, they just don't teach that in school. They didn't teach it in elementary school, high school, even college in many cases. They'll teach you a curriculum, they'll teach you a syllabus, they'll teach you something to follow towards a specific item, but not how to think and how to accomplish and how to overcome. The Great Discovery does all of that. I hope you guys will all take advantage of it and just move on it. I mean, it's there. It's there. And I can tell you one thing, it's going to make a big difference for you as we go up. Now, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we're going to jump on and see if we can take any questions. You got two of the top leaders in the world in Six Sigma protocol right in front of you right now. So feel free to talk with them about anything that you've got. But one of the things I want to point out is this Thursday, as we're shifting into this third phase of the Great Discovery, it's about outreach. And James and the team have all pulled together one of our first live networking events. Put in the chat if you've been, just say yes if you've been involved with any networking events. There's some great ones. We've got a lot of our clients and creators run their own networking groups. Michael Whitehouse runs a great one. There's several other ones that are out there. And most of the networking groups are, you come in, you pay a fee to be part of it, and you come in and you network to meet with other people, to connect and communicate. What we're doing with the Great Discovery is an absolutely free weekly networking event that you can come in and you can connect with people, not only here in North America, but as we're beginning to reach out, you'll be able to connect with people in other countries, and you'll be able to communicate with them through the systems that we're putting in place where you can translate. If you were on the event that we did in October, you probably experienced that was our very first generation of live two-way translation. But we were able to, if someone was speaking in Chinese, you could understand them in English and vice versa. It's the same that we're going to be going into with these live networking events. So I'd encourage you, mark your calendar for this Thursday, February 6th at 12 o'clock. And maybe, James, you can pop up a registration link in the chat. If you haven't registered for that, please do. And then also make sure that you get out and invite and promote. Get out to your list, reach out to people, get them on these networking events. You see, one of the cool things is by drawing in all these people, you're not only drawing them in, but you're engaging them in our community, which continues to grow. That grows your network. Whether they buy anything or not is irrelevant at this point. It's about making that connection, making that bridge, establishing connections for both your business and a way to be able to distribute your gifts so you can get the rewards that come from doing that. So it's going to be a great session. That is this Thursday, February 6th, 12 o'clock Eastern. Congratulations to the team for coming up with this concept. I hope you'll be there. Make sure you mark that on your calendar. It's going to be a big one. Now, there's also a new course spotlight that's coming up at the top of the hour. Tonight, Tom Basie is going to be talking about if you're a new resident getting your, now what to do as if you got your green card received. At the top of every news feed right about now is immigration. It's there. It is a major topic that's up. And this is just one of the 1,000+ courses that we've got on the Great Discovery. And Tom is really amazing. I hope that you'll come and tune in if you know people that are immigrants, if they're looking to, even if they're trying to figure out what to do in this kind of challenging environment that they might be in right now. This is a good information to help them to learn about. It's a starting point. We've got another great session on an immigration team that's on here with immigration counseling and support that you can help. But this will be a great course to be able to come and tune in on. And that's right here at the top of the hour at 9 p.m. Eastern, just in a little bit, in the same channel. You don't need to go anywhere. Then end in the evening tonight at 9:30 Eastern, that at 6:30 Pacific, we've got Dr. Ivanka Farabee, who does a fantastic course creator overview, kind of a walkthrough about the Great Discovery course and how it works and how you can get involved with it. If you're not enrolled and this is all a little bit Greek to you, it's okay. She'll spill it all out for you and lay it out. She does a really fantastic job, A to Z, short period of time. She's clear and concise. You'll know exactly what the Great Discovery is all about from the creator perspective, from the business perspective, for someone that wants to expand your reach. But let's go ahead and close this up for the moment, and let's see if we can take any questions that anyone has. You can go ahead and click down on the reactions button or the raise hand button that's right next to the reactions button, depending on which version of Zoom that you have installed. And we see Bree Campano up there with your hand up. How are you, Bree?
I'm very good, thank you. Hey, I wanted to say something that goes along. First of all, Sandra, Cathy, amazing. Love this. What a great exercise. What a great way and introduction to get all of us motivated to do this and take the Great Discovery course. I had a question this morning from someone that was in the intro call, and the question was, I have a friend who's just started a business. He's struggling. He's not sure what to do. What can I tell him? And I gave her some advice for him. I said, well, you could take Alex's SEO course. It's free, or his YouTube course, and work on your social media. But honestly, one of the best things he can do if he wants to be successful in his business is the Great Discovery course. So I think this is interesting that this is what you guys are teaching today, because I literally just recommended it this morning. So I would say that to all of you, if you know somebody that's just starting a business, they're struggling, they're not sure where they should start and how to get going, this course, the Great Discovery course, would be the ideal thing to suggest to them. This could actually help you get everywhere you want to go in your business. So I love this. It's a great tool to then, course to then share out with people. So that's my 2 cents, but thank you guys so much.
No, thanks, Bree. You know what? That's exactly it. So Sandra and I talked about the first 2 steps. And remember, we said it's on you, right, to do the rest of it. And we're here to help you. But here's the thing, the rest of it, when you draw that path out, that pathway, and you figure out what it is that you need to do to get from where you're starting to where you want to go and achieve your mission, guess what? What you don't know and what you need help with is on our platform in a course somewhere. Somebody's got that knowledge. That's what makes our platform so amazing. So you start with the Great Discovery course, figure out your life dream, figure out your core values and how they align with each other. And then it's just a matter of figuring out what that pathway is. And where you don't know something, there's someone here that does and can help you. So it's all here, and you can do it. And we will be happy to help you. We would love to help you.
Yeah, I want to read what Mike just put in the chat because it's powerful. This is ideal for your life, not only for your business. Think different. This is the Six Sigma way of thinking, guys. This is the thinking that my late husband took into corporations. Yes, they did they use big data sets and analysis and statistics and all that. But this was the cognitive roadmap that made it so successful and so powerful. Look at what it did for corporations. It's no joke. 40 years of proven success. Imagine bringing that into your own life. And you have to start somewhere. So you have to start with a dream or a mission, whether it's business, family, personal, whatever that is. Once you get through it, you're going to naturally, like I said, start using it every day. And sometimes Cathy and I even sit down and go, okay, wait, let's get this out on paper and let's start sketching things out, right? Because
Milestones, right?
we actually do that in our work. We don't do it on a daily basis, but we do it on projects that get to be like, okay, wait a minute here. There's, and then, you find unknowns. Then you find the areas that you don't know and you need to go get help with. You find, a person just starting a business, unless they've got some education, they've done it before, how do they even know what to do? It's so really awesome. I thank you for doing that. That was amazing. All right, we better go to James. Sorry, it's 8:50. Yes, James.
Oh, thanks so much. What an awesome training. I love this. I was kind of a little ashamed to admit that, hey, I've looked at it, I've read through some of it, I haven't done it, but honesty is very important.
Mhm.
As I was reading through those core values, see, I've been through exercises to help identify my core values. And the top two things on my list are love and loyalty, right? Loyalty is one that's not in there, and Cathy said she's going to add it now. But folks, I brought this up a little bit on Discovery Saturday. And one of the things that I said on Discovery Saturday is don't be a jumper where you're jumping from one thing to the next to the next. Build your brand based on your true core values. Because there's a couple of things to keep in mind. Zig Ziglar said, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. And then I don't know who originally coined the phrase, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything. And so people recognize your credibility pretty early on. And the things that you don't want to do is damage your credibility by being a jumper, moving from one thing to the next and be a shiny object chaser. Find something that truly aligns with your path, which we're so blessed to have Dr. Cathy Lawson and Sandra Harry as some of the top certified Six Sigma people in the world to help us find our path and aligns with your core value, and stick with that. And if it's a great discovery and empowering humanity with knowledge, then stick with it. Don't jump around to a bunch of shiny objects.
Mhm.
Really follow that path, because people are going to see that. And just when you're at the end of that tunnel and you're just about to see the light, that's where people tend to jump, right? You start doing the daily activities, you start doing the things that's going to make a difference. And then you get a little weary and a little tired. It's like, well, I don't see the results quite yet. And so, oh, shiny object, I'm going to jump. Well, you've just thrown away everything that you stood for. So find something that you truly believe in, stick with it, and it will pay off in fold. And I just have to compliment Akia Heen, because if any of you have been noticing, Aki has been using these tools we provided to get his post out, his message. It's like every time I turn around on my Facebook, I'm seeing another Akia Heen. Here's a class from the Great Discovery. Akia Heen. Here's another. I mean, folks, do these daily activities, line your core values and your pathway with what means the most to you, and keep pushing forward. And it's going to be amazing. What we're doing with the Great Discovery is going to empower so many people around the world, and you are a core part of that. So thanks, Sandra. Thank you, Dr. Cathy Lawson. You guys and ladies are amazing.
Thanks, James.
James, yeah, we, to your point, James, I do want to say this. I've coached a lot of people on this, and recently course creators, and I've had a conversation with many of them that goes like this. They go, I've done everything James has said. I've put stuff out there and people don't respond. We start talking about it and come to find out that the messaging that they're putting out there is not in alignment with their core values. They're just doing whatever it is, they're copying a template, they're using some words that somebody said. but it's not who they are. And when it goes out, guess what? It's received that way. People are like, oh, it's just another sales pitch from somebody. Oh, it's not very authentic. It's not very exciting. So they just ignore it and they move on. But here's the thing, when you get ignited because you have identified your core values and you realize, oh my gosh, this is who I am, and you start to communicate from that place of who you are, suddenly the whole energy shifts and people will respond to you in a way that they haven't before, because now they're sensing something exciting and dynamic about you, and they want part of, they may not know what it is, but they know there's something there, and they're like, huh, I kind of want to follow this person. This is really exciting. I love the way they're coming across. So really get connected to those core values. It will shift a lot of what you're doing immediately, and you'll see results almost instantaneously. So it's just, and plus it's like a happy pill. It's so much fun.
And I want to add to that too, Kathy, because it's so, so true. And that's one of the main reasons that we developed the teen program, and now we're taking it down to the kids with the books through Bentley. Because if we can start to get kids in touch with these intrinsic core values at a younger age, in their preteens and teens, imagine they're all under so much pressure on social media to be this way or to be that way or to do this or to do that. But if we can get them engaged in those intrinsic core values, that who they really are, maybe we wouldn't have all these issues with our teens these days. You know, there's so much suicide, there's so much just depression and all these things. Maybe it will help. You know, Michael's dream was this. Michael's dream was to get the great discovery to the world and change the world. He used to say it like this. He used to say, could we just give society a half a sigma bump? And what that would do to the world would change you would change the world. The world would be so much more of a positive, happy place than it is today. A half a sigma bump, guys. A sigma is 1,800 times. Just half of that would make such a huge impact on society globally. And that's, you know, I'm not stopping. I want to see that half a sigma bump. I may not see it in my lifetime, but I sure hope I do. You know, I hope we can get it out to as many
Video
people.
has stopped. Oh shit.
Oh. It's okay. All right. Any more questions?
Well, let me just add to that, right? Because what we talked about tonight, we talked about your life dream or mission and your core values. Can you imagine if even 10% more of the people in the world woke up every day and were aligned to their core values and had a life dream they were pursuing? How that would shift the world, the energy of the world. Just 10%, just a small amount. And that's along the lines of those half a sigma bumps. So you know what? We can go out and reach those people, bring them in and get them engaged. And you know what? It's amazing. We'll just sit back and watch what happens. It'll be extraordinary.
Exactly. Completely.
Cathy, Sandra, do you guys have anything coming up on the agenda towards you know, next steps for people that want to get going with a great discovery? Have you got any you know, group coaching things or things that people might be able to jump in on part one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. So, you know, you go take your course, get started on that. And so if you have the Great Discovery International course, you also have a menu that shows you about coaching. And we always have sessions we have group sessions, which are similar to this, where the coach will lead the discussion. And then we have semi-private coaching where you can be in a smaller group and you can have a very small group discussion with your coach. And in fact, what I really recommend is if you are working with anybody, you know what, and you're, you know, partner up, do the Great Discovery together, have a buddy to do this with, and then sign up for some coaching together with your coach. Then you can ask specific questions of your coach. So it's amazing. Yes, thank you for showing that. And then if you really just get stuck, and let me tell you, you will, because if it were easy, you would have done it already. There will be places where you'll just hit the wall. So please go get coaching. And if you need to, go get a private session with one of our coaches. I do private sessions, and there's lots of others that do as well, and will help you get through whatever rough spot you have. Truly, it's like, you know, you can walk through the course with the video and the exercises, but sometimes just having someone to talk to and ask questions of makes all the difference. So
Just
yeah,
wanted to show where it's at, guys. So it's under your coaching. Just go to sessions and pick a coach, and then you can go either straight to the calendar and see all the events. You can hover over them and it'll tell you which ones they are. And this is for Laura only. This is just for the coach because it'll break it down by coach for you. And we are also in the process of doing some upgrades to our coaching system. So there's going to be some new stuff coming out on that. We're going to make it a little easier to find sessions and search and whittle down to what you exactly want. So, but if you do need help, you need guidance, support at thegreatdiscovery.com, and we can, the support team can help you also get into coaching